All right, welcome everybody to the final week of the Four Crowns here. We're going to see six racers here battling out for their last attempt at Kingship Glory here at Lanes Raceway. Gunnar Vender is going to be on red lane, Gabriel Kirtley on white, Nathaniel Burden on green, Glenn Burden on orange, Jay Latham on blue, Guillermo Sire on yellow. If you're noticing that the Frost King himself, Randy Kirtley, isn't here, him amongst a few other people are not feeling too well as the sickness in this county has taken over. So definitely keep all of the sick people here in McLean County, especially Livermore area where I live, in your prayers as we continue on into the Four Crowns here. Livermore Subway sponsoring the Group 20 wing car. All the guys are going to get their controllers hooked up. Gabriel's going to get his hooked up. We're going to try to bang these races out back to back to back, so it's going to be one big, humongous live stream today as we're going to go from one race to the next till we're done to try to get these guys out so they can maybe see the Super Bowl. We do have it here playing on one of the TVs, so in case they are a little bit late, they at least ain't going to miss nothing. James Deckard, hey guys. Hello, James. Gabriel Kirtley already off to a rough start today. He's hooked his controller up, and it wasn't performing well. It was having some kind of short issue or something. But man, yesterday, what a madhouse we had here at Lanes Raceway. A good time. Met up and seen some old friends. It was just a good day. It really was a good day. Greg McClintock from Slot City, whenever I was younger, he ended up showing up here. And it had been several years since I'd seen Greg, and good to hear that him and his dad were doing okay. All right, racers, are you ready? Watch your lights. Here we go. But yeah, him and my dad, they talked about old times yesterday, and then I guess there towards the end of the night, my dad didn't end up feeling too well. So he's going to take today off. So get our first yellow flag here. Now remember, our next series, there will be no track buttons. It's going to be live track next series, so get excited for that. The rules have been posted for all the rules for the upcoming series, and hopefully we'll get that started next week. It really depends on whether or not I'm going to be sick, which as many sick people as I've been around, it would not surprise me, to say the least. As this whole town seems to be sick. So white and green there going to take strikes. But my wife, she's feeling a little bit under the weather. She's got somewhat of a head cold. She didn't get no full-blown flu, but there's been several people in and out of Lanes Raceway with full-blown flus. And, man, I wish they would have just stayed home. But, alas, the draw of Lanes Raceway is big. It's like a mosquito to the flame. People want to have a good time, especially after they get sick and not feel too good. Gunnar Vender there going to take a strike. Be his first. But hopefully everybody out there in internet land, it's not that way where you live. But here in McLean County area, a lot of people sick. I think they ended up shutting down school for a week last week too. There were so many kids out. So much sickness going on. They're taking a look at the track. I've glued down about 5 or 6 lanes before we even started this. There is talks that we may shut down the orange track and it may get replaced here with a different track until we get it fixed. So we'll have to wait and see about that. There's always surprises happening here at Lanes Raceway. Sometimes I'm the last to know. I'm here the most. I'm down here almost every day of the week. Some days I get off though, and don't have to be down here. But I'm definitely going to come down tomorrow, and I'm going to get some Lysol type stuff. We're going to mop the floors with Lysol type disinfectant. Just spray the walls, clean the walls down and everything. As much sickness as went through here. We definitely want to get that all cleaned up. And I got a few things I got to work on. I've now swapped up, and I don't work on the cars as they come in. So we've set aside a day. I'm going to come in here on Wednesdays, our other day off, and I'm going to work on the cars, and the guys just get one of 5 sections for Wednesdays if they want me to work on their stuff or build them a car, and then that way I can set up on one of the bigger tables and do things right, kind of be in my own headspace and not have to worry about uh, a lot of other track related issues going on. Because the way it is right now, somebody said, man, can you put a pinion on? Can you put a motor on? Can you fix this car? Can you do this? Can you make this model for me and all this while I'm still at work? And somebody's like, oh man, the track needs to be cleaned over here. Oh, the track needs to be glued here. Uh, the drag strip's not running. Can you fix it? The pinball tables are locked up. Can you do that? So it's just during the day, I need to be available for all those people and the back and forth of making a dirty area trying to work on everybody's stuff. He's only got 2. But yeah, so anyways, I'm going to try to catch up on some of that stuff on Wednesdays. Brian Bender there grabbing a couple cars, or one car. On Saturdays, these tracks really go through it for sure. Uh, like I said, I've already had to fix 3 parts of the track where it's been rolled up from the rental cars. These rental cars are rough on the tracks. But kids just getting started and stuff like that. It's just like a strike there for Green Lane. Be their second. Need to pop over here for the meantime and get our track mate set up here. I don't know why this keeps reverting back and losing its display, but nonetheless, we are back. Oh, 2 cars collide coming across the high banks there. White and green getting strikes on that. So white getting a strike. It'll be white second. Brian Vender with a hook there trying to grab the car. Special thanks to Subway of Livermore, Kentucky, 270-278-599 for sponsoring the Group 20 Wing Car Class, and Fairview IT Management for sponsoring the Fairview IT Cup Series, as they will pay $1,000 each out to these guys in the coming weeks when we have our banquet. So after today, the way it's going to go is we'll get our final totals here. We'll see who's going to be King of Lanes Raceway, and y'all know about that whenever the banquet goes down. So when we live stream the banquet, you'll know when the world knows, I guess. And you'll also know who are going to be our 4 seasonal lords of Lanes Raceway. And then, guys, we started over again. So basically, our winter series will start next week. Like I said, unless I'm sick, we might, postpone it a week. But I can start to feel a little bit of a rasp in my throat. So I'm hoping I don't get the flu and it's just a head cold. If that's the case, we'll be good to go next week. But if I'm full blown flu, probably going to be down. Uh, but nonetheless, like I said, we'll try to get that going next week. And pretty much all of our race series is going to be done on the blue track next season, as it's going to be the um, Flexi Challenge Series rules, and we're getting practiced up for April the 12th, basically. And around April will be whenever that series ends, and then it'll go right into the Flexi Challenge series, and then boom, we'll be right into our summer series after that, or spring series, sorry, after that. You should have just pushed it. He didn't hit the button. The guide flag's probably too high up in the air. That's a real tight corner. I was telling Brian he should have just pushed the car there. Now that time he did wreck, so he will be coming off there. Jackson Darty says Red Dead Redemption 111. It ain't gonna happen, Jackson. He thinks there will be a Red Dead Redemption 3. I don't personally think so. All right, we can head over here to the track mate here. Take a look. Guillermo, 34 laps in the lead. 33 for Jay Latham. 32 for Glenn. 29 for Gabriel. 11 for Gunner. And 3 for Nathaniel. Tried to explain to Jackson earlier this morning before I got a shower, pretty much after I got off the phone with my brother, and we got to talking about Red Dead Redemption, and I told him, I said, well, it pretty much spans from the very first one, which is Red Dead Revolver, all the way to Red Dead Redemption 1, because Red Dead Redemption 2 comes after Red Dead Revolver, that it spans the whole of the Wild West. So I just can't see that they'll make another Wild West uh, unless it's one of the other groups in the game. Because it definitely can't be about the group that it's about, because, well, that story's done been told. So I don't know how they would be able to make another Wild West game unless they do the maybe 20 or so years before World War One, or they go back in time and do it, right after the Civil War, maybe for about 10 years. I don't know. I guess you can come up with stories. There's plenty of Wild West movies out there, different characters and stuff, but you would figure you would have heard about it in Red Dead Redemption 2 or 3. It's just my figures on it. Because you can't come up with a big, huge Wild West gang when they're already in a Wild West gang as it is, or that gang from the previous games would have talked about them in some way, form, or fashion. So, just, it wouldn't make sense to me, anyway. It's a big hole gap. Instead of talking about Red Dead Redemption, I might need to get back to my job and clear out these strikes. 4 red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go. Right now, Guillermo Sire is in the lead, followed by Jay Latham, Glenn Burden, and Gabriel Kirtley in fourth. So we get our first wreck coming off of the donut here. That's going to be a strike on White Lane, which is Glenn Burden's first strike. Jackson Darty, he is at a party. Well, congratulations, Jackson. I'm at a party too here at Lanes Raceway. It's called the Four Crowns. Looks like we got a couple cars coming off here. TJ West, 1, Agility 7. What are the strikes for? So if they get 3 strikes, they come off for the heat. When we first started, we just let them hit the button as many times as possible to kill the track, because we don't have enough people to track marshal it uh, live and still have a big race. So we do strikes instead so that they still have a lot of people racing next to each other. It's just a way to kind of compensate for not being able to run a live track. But our next series, we are going to run a live track, and basically we got 6 guys here, so 3 of them will be in an A main and 3 of them will be in a B main, and it'll go by how they qualify at the beginning. And then the 3 that are setting out must track marshal for the other 3. That way we can do a live track. Uh, it's just a different way of doing things. Uh, we're not the only guys that do a strike system. There's some, I think, a place down in Florida that does it too. It's just we're in a very low populous area, and a lot of people still don't even know about us here in Livermore, Kentucky. We got a pretty decent sized town or city. I guess you would call it a city. Owensboro, Kentucky, about 17 miles north of us. And we get people in here every week saying, "Man, I never even knew you guys existed." But we've done paid Facebook ads and everything else, just trying to let everybody know, "Hey, we're in business. Come down here and check us out." But like I said, it just really hasn't spread out a lot. We've done better in the past few months than we ever have. We moved from our smaller location right up the road down to here. Still got some issues and stuff going on, like the roof and stuff still leaks when it rains, but I come in here before it rains and lay down some plastic and stuff over the track so water and stuff don't get in that. But other than that, I mean, it's a good facility. We've invested quite a bit into slot car racing. Been doing it for, well, I know in my life I've been doing it for probably 33, 34 years. Been doing it ever since I've been about 5 or 6. So my brother, he's been doing it for longer than that. He's 40 right now. So I mean, my dad's dad had a track in Island, Kentucky, which is over the bridge about 10 miles. And then after him having a track, my dad had a track in '89 here in Livermore downtown. And then me and my brother, of course, opened up Lanes Raceway 3 years ago. So we've been doing some slot car racing for quite some time. And the strike system, that is from the old days when this track that you're looking at right now was in our basement. And we didn't actually, we were kind of in between tracks, being able to actually have a place to come and for all of us to meet up. And in the basement, it was really, really tight. So we definitely didn't have track marshals, and we would kill the track the same way. But down in the basement, we did one strike, so it was really brutal back then. And that's 2 strikes there for Purple Lane. But we mostly ran GRC slash FCR down in the basement, so it wasn't wing cars or nothing. Most everybody just had a Parma GR or Parma FCR back then. We ran 16Ds, hard bodies, soft bodies, and stuff like that. Jackson already says, "I'm at a party called Birthday slash Super Bowl." That's an interesting name for a party. Do they have hot wings there, Jackson? I like mild hot wings with a little bit of that blue cheese. Looks like Green's going to take a strike here. That'll be their first. So right now, Glenn's got 2 strikes there on White. So if he gets one more, he'll be setting out for the next 47 seconds. Um, and it's kind of a twofer, really. So, like, if your car's not really in shape to be running and you're wrecking all the time, well, now you're staying out of the way of somebody that car is running good, uh, and that helps them where they're not getting involved. But there is kind of a double-edged sword there. So when the track gets buttons get hit, if you're caught in a corner, your car can come out. And if it does come out, you get a strike also. So whoever is off the track when the button gets pressed gets strikes. We used to try to make our decisions on that. Me and my dad are thinking about buying a Blue King. Yeah, it's funny. We were thinking about that too. We've been thinking about it for quite some time. Blue Kings are excellent, especially for wing cars. TJ, where you guys from? That's a strike there for Red Lane. That's Gabriel Kirtley. So now we're down to 3 racers here. We had a guy pretty close to us, Tennessee Top Slots. He just took it over, a guy by the name of Brian. They run some pretty good drag racing down there. You guys should check them out if you're in the area. Uh, Anyways, he come down and they had a Blue King down there, and we didn't know that they were trying to just give it away. Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Yeah, Gabriel and them, they just went there a couple weeks ago to race the Flexi Challenge Series. And anyways, they ended up throwing it away, man. It's kind of heartbreaking. Right now, Guillermo 69, 60 laps for Gabriel. Jay Latham 47, tied with Gunner. 35 for Glenn and 18 for Nathaniel. Your dad got you into slot car racing? Well, I'll tell you what, my dad did me the same way, and my brother. Uh, I guess our first time really racing. My brother was racing Group 7 stuff when he was like 5 or 6. And that was down at my dad's old place downtown. And we had a Blue King. We had an original American Blue King. And we ended up selling it in '90 because they ended up jacking. That's what happens, guys. So if people can see that you're doing good, they'll jack the lease up on you. And the thing is with slot car racing, man, if you ever ran a track, you don't get rich doing it. A lot of times you barely scrape by, especially in the summertime. And when they see you in the wintertime doing really really good, they'll try to jack your leases up. And that's ended up what happened to my dad, and we ended up selling it off. I think they sold it to a guy in Evansville or Madisonville. I can't remember exactly. Was it called Atlanta Slot Car? No, it was called Western Kentucky Slot Raceway. Western Kentucky Raceway, I think is what it was called, and it was in '89. But he believes that a couple weeks ago we were looking on the internet, and he believes that that track that he sold, somebody had fixed it up, and he's seen pictures of it online, and it was a kind of like a baby blue, like how this is neon orange on the outside of the track here. Our AMC American orange was like a baby blue, like a North Carolina blue on the sides. And he's seen one of them redone, and he says, "Man, I believe that is my old track." So I seen it, and man, whoever redone that track did an extremely good job. The American tracks, they made out of plywood, and the infield there would be nothing but like astroturf. When they get redone, they really do look special. And then black there's done, but they're so heavy. And see, there's a strike there for blue. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me. It was called Alpine. Alpine. It was the place they went to. Sorry about that, TJ. Yeah, it was called the Flexi Challenge Series, and I think they're going to be going to Tennessee in the coming weeks here. Glenn Burton there with the track roller right now. He's going to be going with them, and Gabriel there about middle of the field, right there by our time clock for whenever they have gear issues here. Uh, Gabriel and Glenn and Randy Kirtley are all going to be trying to go up that way to, I think it's right next to Chattanooga, if I'm not mistaken, the next place they go to. Now, April the 12th, they'll be here on our blue track here. I'll show you what it kind of looks like if I can get that on here. That's our, don't mind that track there. So our blue track's that one right there in the upper left. You can kind of see it. But it's the World Track for 2023. They're going to come down the 12th. We'll be racing on that track here a little bit later too. Go ahead and clear these strikes. I think I messed up already. Forgot to clear on the previous heat. These heats go by so quick. Plus, I get to talking about slot car racing. I get a little bit sidetracked. But yeah, Randy and Gabriel went up there to the Flexi Challenge Series, and there were some pretty big names that was up there racing in that. So the guys they're racing against, man, they would say they're kind of a little bit more than amateurs, but not necessarily pro. But I'm going to tell you, some of them are maybe at the bottom lines of pro level in that series. So that's why we're really interested in it, because we're always trying to push that limit. And the cool thing was, my brother went up there, and evidently Alpine is ran by a couple brothers, so that was kind of cool. He says they were very similar to us, nice clean layout, clean establishment, and stuff like that. And Kelly, that makes the Kelly tires, that's where he resides. That's where he races at. TJ says, when I first started, I was going through bodies and chassis. Yeah, I mean, these guys here, they've been racing, pretty much everybody here, other than maybe Little Gunner there, has been racing for about 3 years here at Lanes Raceway. Gunner's been racing right at 2. Uh, but they have went through some bodies and chassis. Almost every week I say, hey, I get them saying, can you order me a body? Can you order me this chassis and that? Because they're always trying different things. And they're really excited about the Flexi Challenge. Problem is getting the Ralph Thorne Raptor motors, and that is predominantly what everybody wants to run in that class, and it's very hard to get those motors. So we got 10 of them a couple weeks ago, and we went through them in one day because guys were building cars, and now they want more of them, and it's hard for me to get them. Like, I've been on Ralph Thorne's website, I've been on Eagle, I've been on ERI, I've been on all these places trying to get these guys their motors. But I believe in the class, you can run a Speedball from Pro Slot, you can run an Enforcer from Mid America, you can run the Intimidator from Kelly, and you can run the Ralph Thorne uh, Raptor Pro. And the good thing about the Raptor Pro motor is, well, it's an FK for one, so it's got a little bit smoother takeoff and braking, but it's ball bearing, and they allow that. Where some of the other motors that I'm talking about are not necessarily ball bearing. But Mazzetti chassis and the Alios chassis seem to be what everybody's running in that series. But yeah, if you're in Atlanta, you're right there in the heart of the Flexi Challenge series. So TJ, you might want to look that up and maybe get involved with those guys. Alan, he's a really good dude, and he gets all that the Flexi Challenge and stuff set up. He keeps track of all the points and everything else, and it's a really good series. And like I said, Alan, when I talked to him, we talked on the phone for 3 or 4 hours one day whenever he was talking about coming up here, and he's just a good guy. You would really like him, and they run a pretty good race program. Guillermo Sire out in the lead, 104.93 for Gabriel Kirtley, 82 for Gunner, 74 for Jay Latham, 58 for Glenn, 49 for Nathaniel after that heat. And another thing too, uh, Les Hobbs, he come down here. He was working here in the area, and he come down and never seen a slot car before. And he got into the circle stuff for a couple weeks, and then after that, he decided he wanted to drag race. Now he's really into drag race because he drag races big cars. Well, they come in a couple weeks ago, and a local track that we had in Central City, which is about 17 miles in the other direction of Owensboro. Owensboro will be, I guess, west slash north of us. And then, of course, Central City would be like southeast, I guess, of us. But, anyways, he come down and got that track, and they're moving it to Ohio. And I talked to Les last night, and we're going to try to run us a little bit of a drag race competition between northern Ohio people and us down here in Kentucky when he gets back. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be pretty fun too. We talked about different drag racing things that we're going to do here at Lanes Raceway. And of course, the drag strip's just to the left of Gabriel there on the orange track. But We got a quarter-mile Giannis Novkins drag strip here, and we have a pretty good time. They were talking last night about a list race, and we're going to try to run Livermore Lanes list, the Triple L. Try to get that going next Saturday and see if the guys are interested in doing that. So there's a lot of things we try to do around here to just try to keep the spice of slot car racing alive. And then, of course, a while ago, when I was trying to show you the blue track, you seen our RC track, and that's been picking up really well. One RC is all we run here, One RC LLC, and we race those on Tuesday night. Have a pretty good live stream, and that's predominantly if we go up here, James Deckard, he drops in and hangs out there, and his number one racer is of course Jason Howard, and Jason runs his heart out for sure. Probably the best track marshal we got here at Lanes Raceway, I would say. He is quick on it. If every racetrack had track marshals like Jason Howard, there would be no question that it would be a fair race. Because Jason will literally throw his body on the track to grab somebody's car. So we appreciate Jason. He helped us out early on there with the RC stuff too. He was the one that turned us on to live timing, and that's made things go a little bit more streamlined. And then, of course, whenever we are racing, that gets live streamed on Live Time, and it also gets live streamed here on our YouTube channel, on Facebook and Twitch at the same time. But it's been pretty interesting. We did our RC a little bit different than a lot of people do, and the way that we do that is I decided to coat 4 coats of latex paint on our MDF, and then on the cushion portion of the track, or what most people call the cushion on dirt racing, which is the inside and the outside where the fluffy dirt is, I guess. Uh, I painted it a different color, and then I take rubbing alcohol, 90%, and I go over top of it with a microfiber towel, and that kind of turns it kind of tacky, but it still keeps the paint on the track, and it makes the track dynamic. It's very interesting versus where a lot of places would use a carpet, a meslin, or not meslin, like a felt or a carpet or rubber track, where it kind of stays the same grippiness all the way through the race. This starts out really super grippy at first, and then it changes as the race goes on. And our races are anywhere from 2 hours to 3 hours or so, and that's all of our classes. So we got a midget class, a late model class, a street stock class, a sprint car class, asphalt late model. We got a bunch of classes. But if we get 4 more racers in those classes, we run it, and it just gets in the lineup for the live uh, timing, and it kind of runs itself really. Once you get everything set up, which was the biggest part, getting that software set up to do it right, and you dictate how many heats there is, how many people in those heats, and then you dictate how many uh, mains you're going to do. Like if you're going to do C, D, B mains, and then how many bumps you're going to have to bump them into those next mains, like real dirt racing. But they have a good time. We give away stickers, so it says Lanes Raceway B main winner and A main. Those are the only two we do. We don't do C main, D main, or anything back even further than that. Uh, and it gives the guys something to go for, and it doesn't get so extremely competitive or people are vindictive or hateful to each other like when you race for money. And it's funny, like slot car guys, I keep saying this over and over again. My round track circle guys, they do run for money, but they're a different kind of guys, man. They're just like really down to earth, good guys, and they don't really take it that serious. That yeah, they want to win and stuff, but they don't take it to the point that they want to fight each other outside because they're racing for a little bit of money, and I appreciate that too. So yellow and purple going to take strikes here. Now this will be 2. So the bottom 4, man, all got 2 strikes there. So next wreck, somebody's coming out. But it ain't going to matter because that's the end of the heat. So we're going to go ahead and clear those strikes out. We'll head over to the track mate. Guillermo Sire out in the lead, 139, 127 for Gabriel, 116 Gunner, 107 for Jay, 90 for Glenn, and 62 for Nathaniel. Guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to have to use the restroom real quick. And let's see, I'm going to make sure my swaps and stuff are working. Doesn't look like that it is. Let me see if I can get that to fix. Looks like that might not be connected. Yep, not available. All right, nonetheless, I will be right back in just a few moments. All right, I'm back. Let me see if my headset's still working. All right, we're good. So it looks like strikes there for blue and orange. If you guys like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. And a good time to tell you about our sponsors here at Lanes Raceway, Livermore Subway, right next door to us. 270-278-5999. They're sponsoring this series here, the Group 20 Wing Car class. Our fastest class currently for the 4 Crowns. And our other sponsor, Fairview IT Management out of Owensboro and Bowling Green. For all your computer needs, they'll fix anything, clear your stuff of viruses, run your emails, set you up phone devices. They specialize in all these things. They are the reason this live stream even exists. So all the internet stuff hooked up in here, all of the laps, counters, and stuff like that. Oops, who was that? Missed that for a second. Black. Black missed his strike there. But yeah, that's why you can see the chat. That's why you can see the lap counter, which the lap counter is technically right behind this subway sign, which I can't move. But they see the same thing too. And I guess that was 3 strikes there for Gunner or something, or I don't know what's going on. That he doesn't have 3 strikes. All right, so that's going to be purple getting a strike. Oops, wrong one. Oh, black. Sorry, that would be black getting a strike. So purple only has 1, black has 2. Jay Latham, King of Lanes Raceway. Let's see if he can hang on to that kingship this year. He's been working hard for it. He hasn't missed one race. Him or Glenn, the guy right next to him. Like I said, those totals will be made today, and then we will have those totals for you whenever we do our banquet. And when we do our banquet, I hope you guys are surprised who wins it, who gets second, who gets third, and all that other stuff. But they're all racing for $4,000 purse, $2,000 in cash, $2,000 in track bucks matched here at Lanes Raceway. And the king is going to get a big king check. It's going to say king on it. So that's going to be cool. Right now we are in round robin 5 of 8. We got this heat and 3 more. And that is going to be a strike on blue, their second. So it looks like yellow is going to take a strike there. Looks like blue car is stalled there. 3 seconds left to go in the heat. Guillermo Sire is currently in the lead. So we get a red flag. Brian almost lost his fingers there. That wing car was zipping through there. Guillermo Sire in the lead, 175, 163 for Gabriel, 146 for Gunner, your top three. Jay Latham, 138, 115 for Glenn, and 94 for Nathaniel. I'm going to head over to the strikes and clear those out for next round as we go into the 6th of 8 round here for our final Group 20 Subway Wing Car Series. Bryson Neal Racing. I was there yesterday. Bryson, I hope you had a good time. Gabriel Kirtley there with his Guillermo Sire track. I don't know what you would call that. Track pouch? I don't know. There are going to be a lot of guys using those come next series, though. Bryce said he had a great time. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Bryson, I can't wait, man. I know yesterday it was busy. There was a lot of people in here. We had RC people going, slot car people going, drag race people going. It's a good time. And we even had some pinball people going. It was Real big blessing. Thankful for it. Thankful for you saying the nice things you say, too. Yeah, next series, the guys will have to work on their cars on the track. They won't be able to bring them back to their pits. So a lot of those guys are going to want Guillermo Sire's little track cubbies, I guess you would call them. I don't know. But they're pretty cool. They hang on the track and they keep your oil, your, uh, what do you call it? The oil, the voodoo juice, the tire tools, the glue, like everything that you need to keep your car in good working condition. They keep that. We're going to see a strike there on Black Lane. That'll be Black's first strike. So Black Lane currently in second position. That's Gabriel Kirtley. He's been doing pretty good this race. Jay and Gunner pretty close together within a couple laps. But a lot of wrecks so far in this uh, race series this week. Like I said, we're going to try to get this track taken down. If we end up getting a new track, we're going to end up taking this track down and trying to repair it in the back. So there's places alongside this track it needs to all be rebraided. It's 24-year-old braid on this. In some spots, it's actually almost ripped in two. And then, of course, the humps and stuff on the back stretch, everybody wants those out. They want it to be smooth. So we're going to end up trying to smooth those out and just make for a better racing experience the next time that we fire this thing back up. A few of the legs are waterlogged from when we had it in the basement, too. So it wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and replace those, make sure it's got a good firm foundation before we get it back up and rolling. And then hopefully by the time we get that done, we may even expand a little bit. I mean, we might have to. Who would have thought we'd already be ready to expand again? James T. Findle, I love hanging out with you guys, or with guys. It's just a good investment, good group of people. James, I appreciate that, man. James, close to our heart here at Lanes Raceway. We call him Findle. Uh, but he come here last night. He had a shock pen. They all tried to get me on it. Wasn't going to happen, Findle. Wasn't going to happen. I done messed with those when I was a kid, and I've got quite a few people with those. So I know all about the shock pen. But Findle, a die-hard drag racer, comes in here a lot of times with Jeremiah. Jeremiah doing his first drag race last night, faring very well. I think he came just 2 rounds from the final, so pretty good for his first time running one. And I was really pleased with that, and I'm excited at the same time. So, but I'm very thankful for both those guys, and really a shout out to Jeremiah. Actually, Findle, I don't know if you even know about this, but last week there was a couple people here that had some issues with their car, and he drove all the way to Island to get some jumper cables because none of us had any. So, you know, Jeremiah, he holds a special place in my heart. He gets to jump to the front of the line without people knowing sometimes, just for the good things that he does here, and we appreciate that. Hello, Sam. Oh, much. Live streaming. How you doing, Wolfman? You're looking good. Wolfman and Sam just walked in the door, and they were with us up at the old Lanes Raceway, and we still got some of their uh, car art and stuff like that hanging on the walls. And Sam, of course, Sam and my dad used to run around to some of the bigger national races and stuff like that. And Sam was a painter of NASCARs, like actual NASCARs. So Sam, pretty well known around the slot car community. Guillermo Sire right now, 213 in first. In second, there, Gabriel Kirtley, 197. 181 for Gunner. 169, Jay Latham. 130, Nathaniel. And 115, Glenn. Guys, I'm going to take a small break here and talk to Sam now for a little bit, and I'll be right back here with you. All right, folks. Sorry about that. I am back. It looks like we lost a little bit of a connection here uh, on the software. Let me get that stuff set back up here. And we can see the final there as these guys have completed. Head over here to the track mate. You can see Guillermo Sire is going to bring home that victory for the last Group 20 Subway class for the Four Crowns. 281 laps, 268 for Gabriel Kirtley there in second. Jay Latham, 233 in third. Gunnar Bender, 196, 191 for Nathaniel, and 115 for Glenn. Now, guys, we are heading right over to the oval here. T's getting the names in right now, so we're going to get that fired up here. Let me get that double clicked out. And let's see, since I was gone, uh, James said Jeremiah is a good guy. He just gets a little excited. And hey, don't forget, on family night for the little ones, the giveaway that has been planned. And even not wanting to be mentioned, Tim Sally made that possible. Super nice guy. Yes, Tim Sally is a good guy. He was with us up there at Old Lanes Raceway. We really do like Tim Sally. And the little ones are going to get some giveaways and stuff for them on family night. Thanks to Findle and Tim Sally for that. And yeah, Tim, Findle, we did lose sound there. My headset timed out while I was talking to Sam and Wolfman. Hadn't seen these guys in a while. I had to stop and talk to them a little bit about some of the stuff coming up. And then also here, we see John say, Happy Sunday, racers. Happy Sunday, John. Hope you're still there. Right now, T's getting the names in on the oval, and then we'll be getting racing on that. Like I said, a lot of people getting excited here about all of the racing here at Lanes Raceway, whether it be the uh, RC racing or whether it be the slot car racing here at Lanes Racing. We got a lot of stuff going on here, blessed to say, and we are very thankful for that. So it looks like the racers are ready. Are we ready, T? We ready? Okay. So T's going to check the cars for leagueability. I got to try to get this TV back on. We're trying to keep this Super Bowl rolling, but for some reason or another, it keeps timing out. Which I know the Super Bowl won't start till like 5 or something, but nonetheless. Let me see here. Click on that right there. I guess I can walk around with this headset on. Blake, was you wanting to see your times? Okay. Just hanging out? Okay. So it looks like YouTube TV now going to have it. I don't know. One minute it says Tubi, the other time it says YouTube. All right, let's see. Well, I'm not going to try to fix it. I was trying to put the Super Bowl thing up there, but it keeps timing out. Anyways, I'll put the lifetime on for you, Blake. Hey T, can you help Gabriel with that? Oh, that's a brushless there. All right, Blake, you got your timer on there. You're welcome. T's now currently checking the open wheel modifieds. I'm going to get the HDMI's changed over for the TVs. Just tape it. As long as she's teched y'all and y'all are good. It's the last race anyway. All right, let me get these swapped over here. So what do we got here? That'll be north output 2. And that's got to go to the green computer. There we go. And then the west computer. Get back, boy. Dog's over here trying to get into the cabinet over here. That needs to be on input 4. Input 4 needs to be. And this needs to be. There we go. Get back, boy. Okay. And that's the 2 that needs to be changed. Cheese, get your little tail out of here, boy. Cheese got him a very festive looking shirt on. I'm going to get me a Pepsi real quick while I'm over here. All right, T, we got everybody all looking good and fashionable. Jay Latham, the rum runner. That's healthy. All right, once you get his car and get them lined up, we'll be ready to rock. All right, I'm back over here in the seat. I'm going to see if I can get the camera to work here. You have to unplug it and plug it back. There we go. Let's see if that fixed it. Oops. There we go. Hello, everybody. Nathaniel there getting his car or controller hooked up. Now, this will be the last race for the Hometown Hero class here at Lanes Raceway. And as you can see, Jay Latham there on red lane, Glenn Burden on white, Gunnar Vender on green, Gabriel Kirtley on orange, Nathaniel Burden on blue, and Guillermo Sire on yellow. T's bringing the dinner plate of cars to the oval track here. And this is usually a pretty fast race here. These guys got these cars pretty toned in using the Mid-America 1-inch hard body tire setups. And it seems to be a whole lot smoother. So tomorrow when I come in and disinfect this place and clean it, I am going to start a pinball tournament if you guys are interested in that. We got several pinball machines here, and I'm going to clean them all up, get them good and polished up too. And I got to finish the shirts. I might actually be able to pull up what they're going to look like. Let me see if I can do that real quick. see here. Oops, there we go. So it's kind of hard for you to see what that looks like. Anyways, it's very small there, folks. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to show you what our four crown shirt's going to look like, but it's kind of difficult to show it without making the screen huge. Nonetheless, you'll see it here at the banquet for sure. Just trying to get a little spoiler action there for you. LT. Okay, go get you something. All right, guys, y'all can go ahead and hook up. We're ready to roll. So what time is it right now? 2:51, almost 3 o'clock. Got about 2 hours before these guys. I don't know if they're going to make the very beginning of the Super Bowl for sure, but a lot of the guys wanting to catch that for sure. What happened? What happened? Hmm. What did that wing car look like? The God flag. The God flag was up because that's a recess track. 'Cause yeah, if it's up, it ain't gonna make good connection, and that's what it kind of sounds like. That stuttering and then wow, full blast. I don't know. I just have to look at it. If he hooked it up wrong, it'll mess it up. I do got resistors up there. Yeah. All right, guys, are we ready? All right, watch your lights. Here we go, folks. You know the deal. Three strikes, you're out. Maybe the last time you see that here at Lanes Raceway, at least for a couple months. But if it goes well, it might be the last time you see it. And out to an early lead, Guillermo Sire, followed by Gunnar Bender, Nathaniel Burden, Gabriel Kirtley, Jay Latham, and Glenn Burden. Jay Latham's been very strong in this series, winning quite a few here at Lanes Raceway. And Guillermo Sire there down on yellow lane, just underneath Gabriel Kirtley. Gabriel Kirtley giving it everything he's got there on orange, just to kind of stay close as we get a yellow flag. Looks like we got a car coming off as it's going to get passed down to the start finish line here. And that's going to be on white lane taking a strike. If I can, oh no, here we go. So guys, the live stream's doing that thing again where it won't let me swap over. So just know white has one strike. And another yellow flag here. We're going to see another car coming off here. And that's going to be another strike on white. That'll be white's second strike. All right. It's going to be a strike there on red. Going to get another flag there with 20 seconds left to go. I'm going to let the guys know, too. I'm going to go over here and relay to them that the live stream's a little funky. But first off, Guillermo in first place, 58. 56 laps for Nathaniel. 55 for Gunner. 53 for Gabriel. 50 for Jay. And 22 for Glenn. I'm going to go let them know that the live stream's not letting me swap over. So they'll have to keep each other honest. Gabe, just letting you know, live stream's not swapping right now. So I can't get to the strikes to keep track of them. Y'all just keep each other honest. Hey guys, so the live stream's not letting me swap over to do the strikes, so just keep each other honest. It's taking anywhere from 1 minute to 2 minutes to swap over, so there's no way I could keep track of that. So just keep each other honest on that. But I will make sure at the end of the race to swap it over so y'all can see the final laps at the end of the day. With about 30 seconds before they go back green racing, I think Gabriel's going to try to set Sam up there with some RC action. Or actually, looks like he's going to try to set him up with some blue track. Here we go, round robin 2 of 8 in the Hometown Heroes class. 4 red lights dropping out to a green. Guillermo Sire still currently in the lead there on orange with 62 laps. Nathaniel Burton there in second. Gunnar Vender there in third. Gabriel Kirkley fourth. Jay fifth. And Glenn sixth. Very smooth racing so far. As we're a little over halfway through the heat, and these guys are giving each other plenty of room here. Starting to look a little bit like the RC night. As we're going to see Gunnar Vender coming off there. Received the first strike of round robin 2 of 8. Here at Lanes Raceway, we do have a nice consignment here at Lanes Raceway. So if you have slot cars, RC cars, anything like that that you're trying to get sold and you just haven't been able to get them sold, uh, call us, contact us, bring your stuff by. We are constantly upgrading the photos online, and we're going through it, folks. We're selling a lot of stuff here. It is a 20% charge for your consignment, and it must stay in consignment for 90 days to help us have enough time to be able to try to get it sold for you. We push these things out on Facebook and other social media platform channels and stuff like that so that people can see what we have for sale here. We are willing to ship in the continental U.S., so if you guys like anything you see on our Facebook page, definitely check it out. Let us know that you want to purchase it. We can take cards over the phone uh, and get you set up. But like I said, been doing very well, and it's starting to get a little bare. We need some more stuff to sell. But Guillermo Sire there in the lead, 115, 114. Nathaniel in second. Gunnar Vender in third with 111. Gabriel Kirtley in fourth, 105. 103 for Jay Latham, and 68 for Glenn Berger. But yeah, predominantly, mostly speaking, that we sell a lot of drag racing related stuff for the slot car track in there. And since our drag racing's picked up quite a bit, we have sold quite a few of those cars. And if you got some old drag cars that you'd like to try to sell, like I said, we have a spot for you. And it's been going quite well. And we've been pleased with how that works. And if you get it sold, then you just come in here, sign the paper, we give you your money, and boom. After that, it's on you. You know, thanks for your business. Jay Latham there doing a little bit of oil work there on his car. Jay Latham, the king of Lanes Raceway in the 2024 season, poised to repeat that kingship here yet again for the 2025 season. For those that don't know, the king goes by total lap count, and Jay Latham last year had the most laps. And like I said, it's a battle between him and Glenn Burden right now, whether or not who's going to be king this year. So we'll see who that's going to be by the end of this. All right, folks, here we go. We're going to be four red lights dropping into a green yet again. Round robin 3 of 8 for the final time in this year's Four Crowns 2025 season. Guillermo Sire there out in the lead, 119. Nathaniel Burden right there behind him, one lap. Nathaniel poised to take over that lead after this heat. As he's going low here, he will take the lead. Nathaniel Burden now in the lead with 126. Two other cars coming off contact there, having a little bit of bump inside and grind action there. Brian Vender going to help track marshal that and bring those cars back. Like I said, the strikes are having an issue with me going to swap over on the live stream for some reason or another. It's delaying and lagging it out. Um, and it can't be the CPU or GPU. We're currently using 1% of the CPU and only 3% of the GPU. In the memory, we're only using 4,500 megabytes, and we got like I think 256 gigs worth of memory. So it's none of that. It's something to do software related to XSplit. Jonathan, 1985, how? Hello, Lanes Raceway. Hello, Jonathan. But yeah, it's been an issue for about the past 3 weeks. It's hit or miss when it happens, but I almost think it's because the live stream is so delayed. So, Jonathan, by the time you hear me say hello, uh, there's probably been a pretty good minute or so that has passed, if not longer. So, sorry if your guys are thinking I'm ignoring you. I'm not really ignoring you. The stream's just so far back. I'll put in perspective. Let me scroll up here. So they were in round robin with 1 minute and 44 seconds. So it's about 1 minute and 40 seconds behind. So sorry about that. So Jonathan, you're probably just now hearing me say hello. As we see Brian there get that car put on red lane. But I'd much rather the live stream be a little bit delayed with my communications on the chat than for the live stream to come in glitchy and you're not able to hear me or hear the cars the way it's supposed to be heard. Those are the things that are kind of live stream crushing. Everybody can wait just a little bit, I guess, before that takes place, but it does make it a little bit weird for conversational purposes to only be able to talk once every 1 minute and 40 seconds or so. And I'd say a lot of it too also has to do with internet speeds here in Livermore. Today, everybody and their brother's trying to live stream and watch the Super Bowl, so internet is definitely under a strenuance. Jonathan says it's okay. Streams can be frustrating. Frustrating. Wasn't that long of a delay, really. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. I'm glad. Yeah, I ain't even gonna try to swap it over. I'll just get it locked up in there, and then we won't be able to see the race. But right now, Nathaniel is in the lead with 173 total laps, average of 57.7. Gunnar Bender is in second with 169, average of 56.3. So there's some hope there. And Guillermo in third, 168 with 56 on average. Also some hope there. So these three guys are very, very close to each other. Now below them, Jay Latham with 160, average 53.3. He's still got some of his lower lanes left. We'll just have to see how that shapes up. 156 for Gabriel, same scenario. Glenn Burden 116 at 38.7 on average. He has all his lower lanes left, so a lot of racing left to go. We'll just have to wait and see who's going to be able to prevail here in that first position. But all these guys are pretty close. So we're already about halfway through this race. 36 seconds left to go in the heat. Special thanks to our sponsors, Livermore Subway, here in Livermore, Kentucky, for your 6-inch, 12-inch sub sandwich needs, and then Fairview IT Management out of Owensboro and Bowling Green, Kentucky. They are the reason these guys are eligible to run for a little bit of bragging rights and a little bit of money. Uh, and that keeps the skill levels high because we want to keep them skill levels high so when we do have these big races, these guys are ready, they're prepared to take on the very best if we can make that happen. All right, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Wolfman. All right, I can't wait to have you guys back. All righty, y'all be careful. Watch out for the deer. All right. Hello from Shane White. How you doing, Shane White? Brian Vender there. Yet again, grabbing a car here. This race here, not a whole lot of wrecks, as these guys have pretty much got these cars pretty set up. Two Jew slot car racing. Nice tracks. Arcade games too. That's awesome. Man, I appreciate that. Uh, yeah, this track here came from Tennessee. It's a Tunkel track, a Tunkel Oval. As you guys can kind of tell, if you've raced on many slot car ovals, it's backwards. uh, but we've moved the start finish line because of that. That's why the start finish line's down there by Little Gunner there. The start finish line used to be in the crook of the track there. You could see on the trialable portion of the track that white line that goes across. That used to be where the start finish line is. And I guess you guys can kind of tell that why we moved it because these guys are humming through that crook of that track. And sometimes it would only have like one braid connected when they was going through it. It was miscounting laps. So we put it down at the beginning of the dead man's corner, same way we did with the RC track, because that way they're on the slow down and those braids are definitely touching at that point. So since then, we haven't had any issues with laps being in error, and it's actually fixed the software when we done that, because the software was all glitching out too when we had it the other way, and we would lose like 45 seconds sometimes. It was crazy. Dojo Stock Car Racing says, sub to you guys. We'll check out more vids. Nice history. Hey, Tojo, before you leave, or Toju, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if I am or not. But before you leave, do you have a Stock Car Track channel? Are you posting videos too? Because I'm always subbing to new stock car stuff. Shane W., looking forward to racing y'all soon. We will see Randy and Gabriel at the Raceway in Cleveland next month. Yes, Shane, I can't wait for that. I love when those Gabriel, Randy, Josh Ryerson, I think went with them one time, and Glenn, I think is going to be coming down there with you this time. So you can see Glenn Burton there on the blue lane there in the middle. He's going to be coming down there and trying his luck. We've been working on Glenn's car, getting ready for that. So uh, Tochu says, yes, I have a channel. Tochu, I'm going to be checking that out after tonight when I get home. Of course, I'm going to be live streaming all day here today for these guys. But when I get home tonight, I'll be checking you out, man. I'll check some of your stuff out. Always eager to learn new stuff about slot car racing. I'm sure you are too. Uh, but yeah, Shane, that's going to be exciting. Cleveland next month. I've been super pumped about it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Shane, are they racing a Engelman down there, or is it a hill climb? What kind of track is it that they're going to be racing there at Cleveland? Everybody know about the track that they're going to be running. Running digital right now, adding tool power box in the future so we can run analog races as well. Thanks for checking things out. No wrong way to slot car. I agree 100% to that. One thing I will say, when it comes to the digital magnetic tracks and stuff like that, you guys have rarer cars for sure. Our rarity comes in the form of how much a man puts time into a car. These bodies and stuff, they all come clear, they all come black or white or whatever, and you put the decals and stuff on them and make the rarity. But when it comes to like Scale Electric, and it comes to like Carrera and stuff, they make limited releases of that stuff. You're lucky to get one of them, because I've seen some of the releases only release 60 of these cars, and if you ain't on the ball, Johnny, on the spot to get it, you're out of luck. And I told my brother I would really like to bring that to our flat track. You can see the flat track up uh, north of this green track here, that blue track. I'd like to bring some of that kind of analog, Scale Electric, Carrera style to that, so that these guys can have somewhat of almost like a baseball trading type thing going on. Shane W says it is a flat track. That is right. So that is oh, oh, what do they call those flat tracks? An LTD? Is that right? LTD flat track? So getting my first NSR car next week. Is it? Let me just ask. Is it one of the '90s F1 cars? Because those from NSR are sick looking. Yeah. So see, what we do is we take those cars and we put foam tires on them, and that's how you can run them on the wood track. Now there is no swapping lanes or nothing like the digital tracks, but it's still pretty cool. Shane says, me and a few of our local racers are looking forward to coming up to race with y'all in March. Well, Shane, I'm now preparing. I don't know if you have RVs or the like for that matter, but this week I'm actually putting some more hookups around the side of the building, so in case you got an RV, you guys can hook up and have power. Now, as for sewer, I don't know about that, but there is a drop-off point downtown Livermore, which is less than a half mile down the road, that you can dump your sewer if you need to. GT40. All right, man. I love GT40s and even the new GTs. So, have you seen the new Ford that they're supposed to be releasing for the LMD class? So they're actually going to try to run the Le Mans and win it, not just win their class. I seen that a couple weeks ago, and I've just seen like just a little picture of a logo of it, but I haven't yet seen the full car. And I don't know if they've showed pictures of that yet, but I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. Toji says there's an hour away from where I live that races like you guys. We're going to attend and learn. All right, I love it, man. Yeah, this is definitely an old school way of racing. I've been doing this my whole life, racing slot cars. Now, of course, the last 3 years I haven't raced maybe one, two times because I run the races here, so I don't have really a chance unless it's just a night that all of us guys get together and just want to have a little bit of fun. But I still love slot car racing. I just do a lot more building than I do racing now. Toji says, I have not seen this. I'll have to look for it. Yeah, get excited, man. I would love to see Ford bring home another Le Mans win. Of course, in '69, I believe they brought home the win. And that was pretty much the last time they actually won the Le Mans. There's an argument that people would say that when they came out with the new Ford GT, they actually won it. But they didn't win the Le Mans. They won their class in the Le Mans. But now Ford's ready to come back, and they're ready to win another actual Le Mans, be actual first place, not just first place in their class. Shane, LOL, that's perfect. I'm probably going to drive my motorhome. Do you have 30, 50 amp hookups? We actually have 70 amp hookups. So, yeah, we should be able to supply for you. That way, because you're kind of in no man's land in a weird way here in Livermore. And of course, it'll be first come, first serve. Uh, but 17 miles is what you're looking at. You're going to have to go 17 miles north towards Owensboro to get a hotel, or you'll have to go 17 miles south uh, to like Central City area, Madisonville area, and stuff like that to get a hotel. Yeah, they did beat out Enzo that year. And then, of course, they were all for them. Oh, yeah, you can have the twin turbos. You can do this. You can do that. And then whenever they started racing, it was like, oh, they sandbagged us. They sandbagged us. It's always an excuse with racers, ain't it? If you ain't getting first place, somebody's making an excuse. But then the next year, they really put it on them and put the restrictions to them, and that killed them. All right, looks like on Twitch again, the famous Twitch yet again, getting a lot of these spammers here. So we'll go ahead and block that list as we don't pay for views here. You either like slot car racing, want to come in and hang out, or not. I mean, but I don't do the pay for view stuff. So we go ahead and delete all that off. No offense to those people trying to make a living doing all that, but you know, that's just how I feel about it. Because see, if you do that kind of stuff, you get a bunch of fake people in here that don't really care, and you miss out on the two Jews, and you miss out on the James Deckards, and you miss out on the Shane W's, and you miss out. I mean, just all these people here. John, he's here almost every. Jonathan, he's here. Findle, yeah, T said Findle. All these guys come in here. We always talk slot cars, and we talk the hobby. Sometimes we even talk about you know racing games like iRacing and stuff like that, even video games for that matter. Toju says, where are you located? I'm located in Livermore, Kentucky. And like I said, we're about 17 miles south of Owensboro, Kentucky. Owensboro, Kentucky, known for their barbecue and all that. One of the only places on earth that sell barbecued mutton, which is barbecued sheep. Uh, but if you watch TV shows and movies about Kentucky, they play it off like we all uh, are really close to our relatives, if you know what I mean, like marriage close. Not necessarily the case here. I'm not saying that there isn't places somewhere in Kentucky that are like that, but where we're at, it's definitely not like that. But it's just like a hometown, kind of a poor town where we're located here. Not a big populace, not a lot of violence or nothing like that. But good values. Majority of the times, everybody makes it to church on Sunday. As for me, I haven't been able to make it since the Four Crowns. I've had to be here early to get things set up. But good people, good friendly people. gunner vendor right now out in the lead. 287 laps, 285 for Nathaniel. Guillermo Sire, 277, tied with Jay Latham. 263 for Gabriel, 219 for Glenn Burden. Because he says, I'm Iowa, so a ways away. I was born in West Virginia, so I know how things are. Good living out there. Yeah, so you understand. It's not like the movies portray us to be, you know. I mean, I've been to West Virginia several times. I've been to Eastern Kentucky several times, and they always just, man, make you just seem like you're the worst people on earth. But it's not really that way. It's just good people, man. Now, I mean, everybody knows your business. You know that. I mean, even in Iowa, for that matter. I've had some buddies that's lived out there. Everybody knows your business in these small towns, but that's fine. I ain't got nothing to hide. None of these people do either. Yeah, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I definitely wouldn't want to be trying to live up in a big city somewhere where rent's as much as the whole total of my cost of my house. It's crazy. It is a myth. Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder why they do that. I've always wondered that myself. Why they always try to portray like rural living, like living out next to farms in small towns where there's one mechanic and one stoplight and one bank, you know. I always try to portray those places as bad places to live, but I don't know. It's almost like they try to keep people in a city. They want you to think that the city is the only place where people can have a good time. But you can have a good time in small towns. Probably some of the better times in a small town. But I'm not saying anything bad about city living. Like, there is some things you can do in cities that you just can't do in small town. Like, I go to Nashville to play pinball because they got like 100 and something pinball tables. Uh, and then it is movie tropes, man. It's so irritating. What do they call it? Stereotypes. Yeah, they stereotype everybody. But the, but then you try to do your own stereotypes, so then you're a bad person. It blows my mind. Hello, Nathan. Hello, Briley. But yeah, I mean, I go to Nashville over at Game Terminal. I can't say enough good things about Game Terminal there in Nashville. If you ever get a chance to go there, they got great pinball tables there. And this is not a paid ad or nothing like that. I just love pinball. You got pinball and arcades in the track room, so you know where I'm coming from with pinball. What kind of pinball you got, man? Might have to do a trade. I got Iron Maiden, Jurassic Park, Venom, Turtles, Rush, Led Zeppelin, Godzilla, and Mandalorian right now. But I am really, really looking forward to that Dungeons and Dragons. Like I've been saving for that. I'm super excited about that. And then also in Nashville, they got one of those. What's it called? Pro golf or something like that. I might be getting that wrong, but it's like a. You go there and you get your golf clubs and you hit balls like on a regular driving range, but it's like a video game when you're doing it. So like you try to hit it in the perfect spot and you try to hit it on these little holes and there's like a video monitor and you're in like your own little private booth with your friends and stuff. I really want to check that out. Yeah, so by no means am I talking down city life, but there's a lot of stuff to do in cities. The hustle and bustle of it just really makes me anxious. I've lived in Livermore my whole life, and uh, I don't like a lot of traffic. Black Knight, Flash, Doctor Who, and Pinbot. You are kidding me right now, told you. You want to get rid of that Pinbot? Dude, I've been looking for a Pinbot since we've opened up Lanes Raceway. Pro Golf, that's it, that's it. Yeah, it's cool. My brother went and he's telling me about it. He's like, you remember when we used to play Tiger Woods golf and you'd go into the driving range and you could like level up by hitting it perfect in the holes and stuff? And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's pro golf. I was like, that's cool. You got three arcades? Well, I'll tell you, told you. I just see here actually, yes, I'm guessing you're talking about the pinball machine. If we could get something set up uh, and get it shipped here, I would definitely be interested in the Pinbot. So in '89, when my dad had a track downtown Livermore, he had a Blue King, American Blue King. That was one of the pinball machines that was in there. Pinbot, it goes Pinbot. You got to knock it into his eyeballs and stuff. And I've been looking for one. I had an opportunity probably 2 years ago. There was one in Nashville, and they wanted, I think it was like $2,600 for it, and it was in decent condition. It wasn't in best condition, I mean, $2,500, it ain't best condition. Uh, but anyways, as soon as I called the guy, he'd already sold it. Shipping is a PITA. I don't guess I understand what that means. PITA. My brother and stuff, he usually is the one that deals with shipping, and my dad too. And he got Giannis Nobkins to ship us the blue track from the Czech Republic, and it was a big ordeal paying the customs and all that other stuff. Oh, paying in the AZ. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe I just need to take a vacation up there one day. I might get in contact with you uh, if you still have it in the future, because I know T wants to go to Iowa here in the future. I'd like to go out west myself and check out like the Badlands and stuff like that. I know my mom and dad went to that, and ever since then I've been really excited about it. The Wild West was born in them areas. I'm a big fan of the Wild West. But we do have a shipping hub in Evansville for FedEx, I think. There is an email on my channel page. Shoot me an email. We can talk. All right, that sounds good. Told you. Or to you. I spend a lot of time on Pinsider, I think is what it's called. Uh, and of course, we're really close to flipping out pinball. If you've seen any of their stuff on YouTube, Zach and them up there in Evansville, and that's where we majority of the time I deal with Zach, or I deal with uh, what is it, Game Terminal out of Nashville. Just depends on who's got what I want. But Zach's a good guy. He's got a lot of pinball machines, and he's a Stern distributor too. And I'm a big, super huge fan of Stern. I love the Stern Insider stuff. That stuff keeps guys hooked over here. We got a Stern Insider monitor up here. It shows all the high scores and everything like that. So it's a pretty big deal here in Little Town Livermore. A lot of people really like playing pinball. They're just as bad as me. And I got the plumb bob set so just you can almost pick these tables up and slam them on the ground and it won't tilt it. But all right, told you. Yep. Iron Maiden, Batman 66. We may be talking in the future. Batman 66 is tough to get, but I thank you for stopping by, man. It was good talking to you. Good to see another pinball head. Back to the racing now. Gunnar Bender in the lead, 337 laps, round robin 6 of 8. Nathaniel Burden there in second with 333. Guillermo tied with him. Jay Latham there in fourth, 331. Gabriel 318, 272 for Glenn. See you, Nathan. And that's going to be a red flag rotation. Gunnar Bender is definitely going to hang on to that first place right now at 343. He's kind of walking away from it. Guillermo's got two lower lanes. He's going to have to battle that 58 and 60 at 337. 336 for Nathaniel right there on his toes. They've been back and forth with each other. 334 for Jay Latham. 319 for Gabriel. And 273 for Glenn Burden. Matthew McCulloch, looks like a fun track. Looking forward to racing with you guys. Thank you, Matthew. We're looking forward to seeing you. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, we will have some hookups and stuff for people that want to bring RVs. I think Dad said he brought 5 hookups or something, so I got to get some breakers and stuff changed over in the back. But you know, that should make it pretty easy. And like I said, where we're at, where we're located, a really good town. It's a type of town you can kind of leave your doors unlocked if you really want to. But you know, I always like my stuff just in general. It's just an old habit I've always had, but a really good town. I'm from Cleveland, Tennessee, one of Shane's friends. All right, cool. Yeah. Gabriel and Randy and Glenn going to be heading down to race there in the upcoming weeks or so. I know that it got postponed, and I was telling everybody they're heading down there this weekend, and I didn't hear that it got postponed until that day, and they're like, "Yeah, that all got postponed," and I was like, "Man, I was telling everybody I was heading down there this weekend." But yeah, I heard it got postponed because of the weather, so they're super excited about it. They've been trying to work on their cars, get it set up, and they've been working real hard on this flat track, trying to get it set up on our flat track to better compete down there. They said. But for some reason, I thought that they were racing on a Engelman or a hill climb. But I was just told that it was on an LTD flat track. So, yeah, I mean, you should fit right in when you come up here and race because this is a Giannis Nopkins World Track from 2023. It's a flat track too. There's a little bit of incline that takes place. I guess you could call it a donut. It's like a D-shaped donut, kind of like a red shaped donut, like the red track from American, little D shape. But they do love the blue track. We're going to be running 2 more races on it. After this race, we'll be running the 72 pitch, kind of get an idea of what these guys are running. You raced with them in Helen, Georgia? Well, then you got to meet my brother Gabriel Kirtley. So if you've met him, you know he's a good guy. And of course, he loves slot car racing too. That's him there on the far left of the screen next to Guillermo. Yeah, he's a big help down here at Lanes Raceway. Uh, I got more of a caveman type mind, I guess you would say. I don't think the way my brother or my dad thinks. They kind of think outside of the box a little bit. I'm more just looking forward. I like to talk to people. I like being social and stuff like that. I'm pretty good at that kind of thing, and I love getting people excited and having fun racing and stuff. I was the same way when I was a kid. Uh, my banker actually next door, I grew up with him, and his name's Ryan. I won't tell you his last name. He may not want that to happen, but we used to play baseball when we was kids, and we would go from backyard to backyard to people's different backyards playing baseball, and they kicked us out from the school because we kept putting holes in the windows with tennis balls. So I told my brother, so I'm fixing to set us up a real nice place to play baseball here because they wouldn't let us play on the baseball fields back then either, and we all wanted to get home runs with these tennis balls. So I ended up taking some side conduit off of a semi truck, and I ended up putting it up against the side of our garage at the time there at our house, and we had a pit or what do you call it, a dugout. We had a dugout. I had fans in there. We had water in there. We had coolers and everything else. We played baseball there, and I ended up digging out a big bunch of stuff. I'm very much a kind of dreamer in that kind of aspect, and I do things a little bit different. I'm always doing something different. And a couple weeks ago, we did a different type style drag race. My dad goes, "Who come up with this drag race?" I said, "I did." And he goes, "Yeah, I've never seen anything like that before." But it's all in good fun. So Gabriel and Dad, they kind of keep my head straight sometimes when I get a little bit too far out in left field, trying to do a little bit too much, trying to have a little bit too much fun in my own head, I guess. But they are definitely a big help to me. Now, Randy, of course, right now he's sick with the flu, so hopefully he gets feeling better. Be praying for him for sure. 398 there for Guillermo in first. 396 for Gunner, right there on his toes still. Jay Latham there in third. 388, 387 for Nathaniel, 375 for Gabriel, and 325 for Glenn. And we'll be coming into the final heat here. Like I said, it's going to be an all-day live stream, as we're going to run these races back to back to back, no breaks in between. A lot of times we split these up, and the guys end up going and getting them a lunch or whatever. But we're going to try to get these guys out of here before the Super Bowl, because I know a lot of them's got some Super Bowl parties they want to attend, and they want to be with friends and family for that. Uh, I'm not really a big Super Bowl guy or any kind of sport guy. I mean, other than motorsport and slot car racing, RC racing, stuff like that. Um, all the other stuff just never really did appeal to me. I love fast cars and uh, fast hobbies, I guess. But yeah, Matthew, they had a really good time down there in Helen, Georgia, and they come back and they said, I have some of the friendliest people, and they're at Alpine. And when Gabe come back and he told me, he says, "Hey, you know what's funny?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "A couple brothers running that place too." I said, "That's awesome." And he said, "Y'all had a really nice facility." He says, "Very, very similar to the way that we run things here." So it should be a really good, smooth transition then for when you guys come. We'll try to roll out the red carpet for you guys and have the best facility that you can. I know me and Randy, as soon as he gets feeling better, we're going to end up building some more tables. I think we're going to build 4 or 5 more tables before you guys get here. So there'll be plenty of room for you guys to sit, have a good time. And then there's, of course, a back door here. If you look up in the upper left-hand corner, I'll just wave my hand up here. You can see me waving my hand. Right here to the left, there's a back door that you guys could go out when you come here and get to your RVs or whatever when that happens. But I think we're going to have 5 or 6 hookups. So just call in advance, let us know if that's what you're going to do, bringing an RV down. I think Gabriel and Dad took an RV whenever they went to one of those places. Because I think Glenn went, I think it was Apex. Glenn went with Randy, and they went to Apex and took an RV. So, but yeah, if you're wanting to stay in a hotel, check out Owensboro, Kentucky, 17 miles north of us. There's plenty of places to get a hotel room there. Um, and then, of course, Madisonville, about 17 miles south of us. There's plenty of places to get one there. Other than that, if all those places are booked up, you're going to have to go to Bowling Green, and it's about 45 minutes to an hour drive. Uh, but nonetheless, you're pretty close to anywhere to stay. Pretty close, within 20 minutes of this place. There's only one place you can stay here in Livermore, and it's called the River Tree Inn, and I think it's on Airbnb. And that's Ralph Thacker, our dentist here in town. He owns that place. So if y'all get that, definitely give a shout out, letting him know that we sent you that way. Of course, Ralph, he's always trying to make Livermore a little bit better of a place to live. He's got some pretty good projects. I need to actually get in touch with him. He sent me an email about this project they're trying to do in Livermore, which I'm excited about, where they're trying to turn, what's funny, the old place where my dad's old track used to be downtown ended up turning into a chair factory. It used to be an old hardware store, but they're wanting to turn it into a general store, but it make it look like a 1950s, 1960s kind of look, downtown look, and I'm really excited for it. So I definitely want to donate a little bit of money for that. They're trying to put a roof on it right now, so we're wanting to get that going on. And there's some other projects here in Livermore that we're wanting to try to get going, because a lot of people like to drive golf carts here in Livermore, and a lot of people like to ride bicycles and stuff too. So we're trying to come up with a way to help all that kind of stuff happen here in Livermore too, to make it more of a social place. It'd be nice if we had a town center. That'd be really great too. But Yeah, I'm super excited for you guys, and I'm really excited for Gabriel and them. I hope you guys live stream it whenever y'all do Cleveland, Tennessee, because I'd love to put it on here at Lanes Raceway, put it on all the TVs so that we can all watch it, because I love watching me some slot car racing. Like whenever they run the World's Race the past couple years, uh, you know, I may be an outlier here, but I am a fan of Roger Smith there at Mid America, and he goes and runs in those races, and we was rooting him on and stuff like that. I like to root him on. But if I could root for some of my hometown guys, I like to do that too. So definitely, definitely, I hope you guys have a little bit of a live stream action there. I think they tried to do it down there at Alpine in Georgia, and some stuff was a little bit different. I know that Glenn caught a little bit of the race on Facebook, which I don't have a personal Facebook myself. Lanes Raceway does, but when I'm at Lanes Raceway, I can check things like that out. Full red lights dropping out to green. 27 seconds left in this race. Guillermo Sires in the lead, fixing to turn 450 laps. Gunnar Vinder there at 438. Nathaniel 433, tied with Jay, and Gabriel 421. Glenn Burden there with 369. Like I said, it's going to be an all-day live stream. Now I'm going to take just a small little break here. I'll probably put it on a picture of me so you guys know I'm not here. But then whenever you see a track pop up, you'll know I'm back. So let's go on over here to the TrackMate. This will be the final, and it might take a few seconds for it to hit up on TrackMate. But 461 for Guillermo, 447 for Gunner, 442 for Nathaniel, Jay Latham 441, 428 for Gabriel, 375 for Glenn Burden. Like I said, this live stream's been acting funky. Nonetheless, uh, I'm gonna go. T's getting a picture right now. You can see her getting a picture there. I'm gonna go and it should show up on my seat, so you'll know I'm not here. And then we're going right into the next one on blue. So T's gonna get the names put in, and I'll be right back with you. world has happened here? This whole thing is locked up. So that is World Track. What is going on here? All right, Matthew says, that sounds good. I don't think we'll live stream Bills, but plan on coming up there to race. Thanks for the info on the area. You're welcome. Guys, I'm going to have to shut the live stream down. It looks like we have lost every single camera, every single thing on this live stream. But I will boot it back up here in just a few seconds. I have no idea what went on here. We might have a big screw up here. If we do, I'll let you